A lot has changed for the world in the last 5 years. We had Donald Trump, we had Joe Biden, now we have Donald Trump again, and everything is just getting turned upside down. I wanted to do a check in on Vladimir Putin. One of the things that I've always said about Vladimir Putin is that he found Trump a worthy adversary. What does that mean? That means that someone that he can tangle with, that he can negotiate with, that has the same kind of tenacity and fighting power in terms of being a world leader. I have always asserted that I felt Putin psychically and intellectually felt that Joe Biden was not a worthy adversary, that Joe Biden was just a big bag of hot air that liked to stamp his feet and pretend that he was a tough guy. So let's see how Vladimir Putin is feeling about the change of guard here in the United States and at the pinnacle of world power, and how he feels about a bunch of things that are going on and some of his relations in the world. We'll be right back. Welcome, Tarot fam and Tarot fans. In this video, we are going to check in on Vladimir Putin for 2025. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. I've got a lot of questions about how he feels about the changing of the guard in the United States and the world landscape. So let's bring up that card view. Before I do that, please like, share, and subscribe, and consider becoming a member. You get early access to all of my videos, and you also get the chance to win an hour or half-hour reading every month if you're a member. So we do a live broadcast, and we select 2 people from our membership to get a free private reading with me. You can use it for your own business. You can use it for your own personal stuff. You can also ask me questions about how to be a tarot reader, how to be a psychic. I coach psychics and teach tarot readers as well. Or we could just sit around and chit chat and have a cup of tea. So whatever you want to do. We can talk about pop culture stuff that I wouldn't otherwise speak about on this platform. So take advantage of that. Consider becoming a member and make sure you hit that like button right now. So let's bring up that card view for you and get crack-a-lackin' on Vladimir Putin. If it's your first time here today, I am a student of Russian history. My father is of Russian descent, of Russian-Ukrainian descent. My grandfather immigrated from Russia. And so I have a very special place in my heart for the country and the history. One of the things that I know as a student of Russian history is that there really was never a golden age of Russian history. There has always been conflict. Even when Catherine the Great was in power, there was still conflict and court intrigue. It is an amazing history. From the Rus, the Muscovy. It really is an amazing history, and it's hard to figure out where to start, but you can jump into some of the documentaries on it. My particular focus was on pre and post-revolutionary writing. So pre and post-revolutionary writing and how that propaganda did affect the opinions of people in Russia in the first couple of decades of the last century, and also how that affected the language and the culture in Russia. It's a fascinating study. So jump right in if you'd like to. And I apologize if there's any start and stops. I still have a cough. So let's see. How does Putin feel about Trump being back in office? Is he excited about this? Is he worried about this? Does he think this is going to stymie any of his plans? So how does he feel about it? 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords in reverse, Ace of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the World in reverse, King of Cups. So he is absolutely going to come to any negotiating table with a robust sense of cooperation. He is going to negotiate like the best of businessmen. I do feel that Vladimir Putin is more of a businessman politician than a lot of people like to give him credit for. I do think that he tries to find the best outcome for most of the people involved. Ukraine situation aside, that is a particular situation where he's not doing that. But I think in his relations with foreign leaders, Russia and United States, with North Korea, I do think that he tries to negotiate to to his benefit, to be sure. But I think that he does like the art of negotiation, art of war, art of negotiation, art of the whatever it is, Donald Trump's book, Art of the Deal. That was it, Art of the Deal. I do think that he's familiar with all of those types of writing. Um, he is not a man to be trifled with, and I hope I'm not. I always get accused of seeming like I am a Putin proponent, yay, Putin. I'm not, but I do think that he is a tremendously interesting person in the world landscape and in history. I think, he certainly has been taking care of Russia and leading Russia for more than half of my life, I think. So, this is very, and to be sure, I studied Russian language at Middlebury College in their in their language school. Middlebury College is here in Vermont, Middlebury, Vermont, the United States, and they have an intense immersion program for a variety of languages. That's where I learned Russian. I went there to learn Russian, and that was in 1995 or 1996. And the professors that were there were talking about Putin then. So it's very interesting that he was a subject, and they were all Russian individuals, Russian professors, and they had said that if he gets in trouble, gets in power, we're in trouble in Russia. That was one of the things that they said. I didn't get much more information on that, but as his name became more and more in the news, I found him very intriguing. Putin's Playbook is one of the greatest books I've ever read. It describes how he is functioning as a Russian and as a world leader. So, highly recommend that book if you would like to know a little bit about him. I've mentioned it before. It is written by a Russian born American immigrant who came over from Russia. And she worked for the State Department, and she was kind of the translator of Russian culture for the people in the State Department. So this was an expansion on her explanation of how he functions and what his goals and his means to achieve those goals would be. So it's a really amazing book. From culture to culture, people do behave differently. Vladimir Putin is no different. And Russian culture, having been so historically xenophobic, is certainly a very, very different culture from American culture. That being said, I think all of the tactics, the sneaky tactics that he has, he cannot use those anymore. So this forges a new cooperative relationship and a new excitement of negotiation with Donald Trump. Will he be able to get his way? Not all of the time. I think the situation in Ukraine, that land dispute, I'm going to call it that. Please don't come for me in the comments. I know it is a terrible thing. That land dispute, I think he's going to come out on the losing end of that. I think Trump is going to help them negotiate peace there. Zelensky is another one. We can take a look at him in another reading. I don't want to go too far into him. I am not a fan of Zelensky. I will say that right now. I think there's something up with that dude. There's something more to him than what we're seeing. So here, world in reverse, I don't think that Putin puts his desires on the back burner while Trump is in power. I think he just tucks them away into a filing cabinet, puts it in a closet, doesn't discuss it with anyone, and plays nicety nice, nice, nice. He's going to dislike any losing that he does because of Donald Trump coming into power. So we have that there. Does he consider Trump a worthy adversary? Is he pleased that Biden is out of the office? So let's see. Does he like that Trump is a worthy adversary? Yes, absolutely. Ace of Pentacles. He can negotiate with this person. He can talk with this person. It is not threat, 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 threat. don't. Remember Joe Biden with his don't. He didn't say it to Putin, but it's an empty threat. Is he glad that Joe Biden is gone? Let's take a look. Absolutely. But there's a but here. Joe Biden was a pushover. He was able to flex his power and go in and attempt to regain territory, a la Ukraine. He was able to do that while Joe Biden was in power. And now he has to kind of bide his time. He could do as he wished without the worry of repercussion, because there just wasn't. Again, Joe Biden was an empty bag of air. So how is Putin feeling about his campaign in Ukraine? How is he feeling about, I got a jump out card, 8 of Swords. He is stuck. How so? How so? We took that jump out card. I don't always take them, guys, but sometimes the universe makes those cards pop out. How is he feeling about it? Let's go. 9 of Swords. It's not working. 8 of Cups. He knows he needs to walk away, but that's going to wreck his reputation, and it's going to make him look bad on the world stage. So what do we have here? We have 9 of Swords, the anxiety about the situation, not winning. Walking away would be disastrous to his reputation. This would show that he was not a good leader, that his military did not lead correctly or effectively, not correctly, effectively. And here it would still have a rift between the two areas. He would have to deal with that. And this would be something that he is going to park for later. Is he going to back off with Donald Trump? Is he going to back off those lands with Donald Trump, or will he stay strong in those areas? Is he going to insist on holding the line? So will he back off? The Devil, yes, he's going to back off. Holding the line? No, doesn't make any sense. So the 9 of Wands, when we have this is after the battle. We're standing there, we're protecting the spoils of war, we're battered, we're beaten, we're taking inventory. Over here, we're getting out. We're getting out of it. So prediction, I do think that we're going to see some wrap up to the Ukraine situation. Hopefully it'll be for the better. What can we expect from his relations with China? I've talked about this before. He is very, very close with Xi Jinping. They have very similar experiences throughout their lifetime. So how is his relationship with Xi Jinping? Are they really going to remain good friends? Is the relationship between Russia and China going to be a cooperative, continued, committed relationship? What do we got? Boom. 2 of Wands. They are there. They are there. The Hangman. There's a certain amount, Queen of Swords in reverse, Page of Pentacles upright, the Ace of Cups, and Temperance. There's a certain amount of we're right and no one else is. So I think that they do meet on that level to a great degree. I think saying, we have this vision for our people, China first, Russia first, America first. We are all doing the same thing. Does this become a negotiating tactic with Donald Trump for the Russia-China allegiance? 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. That's a little tricky there. Because the 10 of Pentacles says, you got yours, I got mine, stay on your side, and don't tempt me. Don't tempt me to get flared up and angry about it with this Ace of Wands. So these are good fences make good neighbors, quoting Robert Frost. I do think that some separatism is going to be evident here. I think their pitch will be, will you take care of America and we will take care of Russia. I think there is going to be that element. Is this relationship between the two of them beneficial to the two of them? I do think that they both still have a few secrets in their pocket. I don't think that it is a full disclosure kind of relationship. I think they still have some things in their pocket that they keep from one another. So but nonetheless, working together. Relations with Trump, how are those going to proceed for 2025? Nine of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. We are going to dream together and we're going to work together. So I think Trump says to Vladimir, to Putin, this is fine. I get it. You want to take care of Russia. You want Russia to be great again. That's fine. I want America to be great again. So you do you, and we'll do us, and then maybe we'll come together in the future with some kind of dreamy plan. So let's support our own. The high tide rises all ships in terms of economy. We've got a lot of economy here. Pentacles, pentacles, pentacles. So we've got a lot of economy, and I do think that is something that Trump sees. He doesn't see our economies in competition as much as he sees them as components of a whole world economy. So I think we will come up with some interesting ideas. And then in the future, we will try to execute those. So that's what we've got with his relationship with Trump. How about his relationship with Zelensky? Not that we can call it a relationship, but let's see what we've got there. Healing and publicly nice to each other, but not really healing, just so you guys know. It's not really a warm and cozy kind of relationship. So what can we expect? The Emperor, he really does want to reduce the power of Zelensky. He wants to do that. He's very impatient about it. He is going to want to see a regime change in Ukraine. That is one of the things that Putin is really going to see. There will be, hey, we need to get him out of there. We need to put someone else in power, have a general election, what have you. A level of impatience about the transition, but he's going to cite crimes, crimes of war, those kinds of things, and put them firmly at the feet of Zelensky. So we're going to see that. He is going to insist on that being corrected. So to wrap up this reading for today, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Please make sure that you attend my general live a little bit later on today. I will be giving away some memberships, I believe, this week, and possibly some other stuff. So have some fun. So what can we expect from Putin in 2025? We have any surprises coming up here. So we've got General. There he is, Six of Cups. He is going to be talking about the values of Russia, the importance of Russian culture. One of the things that did happen during the 20th century was there's an an anglicization, not an Americanization, but an anglicization of the Russian language. And I know that there were some movements to correct that. Example, how you say hockey in Russian is hockey. How you say referee is referee. There are a lot of words in the 20th century that became anglicized. Returning to the purity of culture, the purity of language, the purity of being Russian, and the value of being Russian, I think is very, very important. That's going to be one of the main things that he talks about. Now, to be sure, I know that there are some other things about Russia that are not great. I know they have some rules and laws with LGBTQ. I know they have, there's a very strong push for Orthodoxy to be the primary religion. My family that came from Russia is Jewish. And during the Tsarist time, there was some anti-Semitism that was apparent in the country. So, for the push for Orthodoxy to be the main language, and if you do some research into Russian history, you'll see that there is a patriarch that was a significant part of the Russian rulership with the imperial families and the imperial lines. So you will see that. So if you want a funny tongue-in-cheek kind of look at it, Hulu the Great is a funny, quasi-historical, it's not really historical, so don't take it as a documentary, review of Catherine the Great's rule. And her relationship with the patriarch, and that is quite humorous. They don't like each other, but they're very pleasant. So okay. So what can we expect? Any surprises from him? This is not a surprise for me. Any surprises? The Star, the Five of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. I don't think we're seeing the end of movement into territories that want to be regained. Specifically, that Ukraine area. I don't think that that's going to be something that they forget about. I think in the future that will still be a land that they want to bring back into the Rus, if you will. They want to bring it back into the bosom, clutch it to the bosom of Russia. So I think that we will see that. And this is perhaps a plan that Putin will write down, craft, and kind of put in a locker someplace. Any other surprises that we can see from him? Eight of Wands, the Moon, disclosure, and the Knight of Swords. So in reverse, we have the Moon and the Knight of Swords. So he's going to be disclosing some information. I do think that intellectually, or not intellectually, psychically, I think this is going to be about the United States. I think he's going to disclose. And remember, he was KGB. So he knows a lot of stuff. Knows a lot of stuff that not everybody else knows. So I think that he is going to disclose information about relations with the American government over time. We know that Trump is now handing over the JFK, RFK, and MLK files. I did a reading on that if you guys want to go look at it. I do think that what we're going to see is revelations that will change the perspective of Americans toward their government and the relationships that we had with Russia. So that'll be another surprise. So I'd like to see that. We're going to be opening up some files. I'm here for it, Pootie. Bring it. I want to see what you got in those files, my dear. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about what we can expect from Putin. Are you guys afraid of him? Do you think he's going to flip the switch? Do you think he is going to cause world wars and trouble everywhere? Do you think that he's a danger? Do you think that he is at the end of his political career? Do you think he's at the beginning of it? Again, I've been accused of being a Putin fan. I'm not. I'm a Russian history fan. I love the history of Russia. I love Russian food. I love Russian fashion. I love the Russian court. I love Russian dishes. I love everything about it. Those beautiful blue and gold and white cups. Oh my God, I die for them every single day. I have a very, very strong affinity for interesting histories and interesting people. And I think that Vladimir Putin is certainly one of the most interesting people that we have ever seen in our lifetime, possibly in history. So he is a great big onion dome that we must peel apart. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Until later, do svidaniya. Ya lublю тебя. I love you. I will see you guys later. Have a great day.